Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the weekly outlook. And let's start. Like last week, remember what we said? This is still in consolidation and likely it's going to go sideways. So this week, we're going to get a lot of sideways movement, but some trades are going to move. So you want to pay attention to them. Everybody save the chat until the end. I will take questions, even if it's extra time. If we have to go an extra hour, no problem. I'll take questions. So dollar index is going sideways, but I think we will still see this and some more upside. We'll get a correction here and some more upside. So you'll be looking for some more upside on dollar index. It's still within a consolidation. So let me show you that in the 4-hour. It is still within this consolidation, but some more upside. Consolidation here and then some more upside. Push up like this, right? So that means euro still sideways. I don't think euro is going to go down totally, but you get a pullback like this here in the 1-hour. You can look for some more downside. Let's look at that here. 1-hour. Nice trade. I hope nobody bought this at the top here, and watch for this, and then we're going to get some more down. This is not the start of the downside. I don't think that as yet. I don't believe they're going down as yet, because on the daily, if you look at the structure, there's a very good chance that this consolidation comes a little lower but go back up. You notice this one here, I keep mentioning this. They broke the low here very slightly and then they went back up. I don't think they necessarily will break this low, but you will get some downside and then up. So for today, for this week, especially for this week, and most likely even for today, if you get a pullback in here, you're looking for a flag. If you get a flag structure in here, then you look for a sell. If they retraces this here to that top, still not a buy setup, right? It means they're making a deeper consolidation here and then they'll go up. So what you're looking for is a flag here in a 60-minute and a 240 and then look for a trade down. Take this trade and see how far it goes. Watch it as it comes to the low, right? Because they can break the low, but they will go back up. So you can take your profit off of the trade. Don't keep it for a longer time, right? Take your profit off. On the Pong trade, we are in a correction to the upside. I was showing everybody who came in that there's a nice trade set up here. You got an impulse. You're correcting this impulse. You can look for this trade here. They'll break this trend and they'll break out of here, and you look for them to come back here. Two ways you want to look at this. Let me go to the daily. Let me just stress this with you guys. If this is coming down, the up move will be very corrective like this, and then we will get one more down. If it is going up, and as it stands right now, both of those structurally can happen. Right? It is in the structure that is making now allows for both of this to happen. If it goes up very sharp, and good for us if it goes up sharp, because I would be in the buy. I'm looking to buy it. If it goes up very sharp, it will pull back and then it's going to go test this top. And then we look for this trade down. So take this trade to the upside, and if it goes very slow, if it crawls up, go very slow, you probably get a couple pips out of it, not very much, right? If it goes like this, you probably get this trade up, you take profit out of it, it starts to come back down, go like this, do like this, then we look for this trade down here. This would be this week's, by the end of the week. So first you're looking for that upside. You're looking for that upside trade, right? Look for an upside trade and then we'll see. Today the trade, as a matter of fact, you could get this trade today probably, right? You could get this trigger to go up here today, so keep an eye out for that one. Aussie, look for a sell. Remember what I said, it's the power of patterns and the way they work. Look for a sell setup. They're pulling back, look for a sell. Every time they pull back, look for a sell. They may make a deeper pullback here, possible. And then we continue to sell until it gets here, and then we look for buy. There's one scenario where they could break this structure. That is if they're making another structure. We're not going to go into details of structure, but there is a scenario where they can break this structure, come a little lower, but the final move is still to the upside. So if you're in the sell and they break the structure, you don't have to worry. You're in a good trade. So you're looking for a sell in the 1-hour. And I think we got a nice pattern here showing us a possible sell setup. If you want to buy this, those are small trades, scalping trades to the upside. I don't encourage them, but if you have the skill level, go ahead. Test your skills. But look for the trade to the downside. New Zealand, I think we'll get some consolidation here. I can see the possibility for some consolidation in here, maybe some more up and then down. So New Zealand doesn't have a very nice trading to the upside. We'll watch it. We'll keep an eye on it, maybe above this top here. Short term. Above the top, short term if it goes. If this one goes back up like that, it's very short, and then we'll start to look for the downside, right? CAD, very interesting. Daily. CAD is in this big daily corrective structure, and we don't know if this is the start to the downside. Remember, we will never know that until they break out, right? So if you get a sell set up in CAD, always take it. It could do this. It might just do this and go back up. It might just do this and go back up. But take the sell every time, because this structure here will break to the downside. So on the 4 hour, we can see that we've got a 1, 2, 3 up. Nice 1, 2, 3 structure. 1, 2, 3 structure. I'm looking for a pullback here, and then continuation to test the top, or total fall. Which one? I have no idea. It's an incomplete structure, and as long as it remains incomplete, I wouldn't guess what it is, but I'll trade it. So I'm trading it to the downside. You can't ask for a better trade than this. Even if you lose this trade, I'll take it. Seriously, even if I have to lose that trade, I will take that sell once it materializes. So if you get a sell set up, take it. Keep your stop above the top. Because if they go higher, you don't want to actually be above this level. Don't normally do that, but I can tell you this one, because this has huge potential if it goes. Now, what if it's just a correction? If it's just a correction, it's going to do this, and it's going to go back up. Maybe do this and then go back up, and you will get a trade to the upside. You will be able to buy this next week or maybe by Friday, right? But right now it's correcting, and it's going to make some down moves. Gold, by the way, has a nice trade. You guys should see that also, I guess. Swiss, stay out of the Swiss. It's in this thing. They will go down. You see, they're not giving us a good one here, but they're making this one now a bigger one like this. You're going to get a pattern like this here. And you're going to get this trade. At least that trade may be lower. But it's not the best one. Put it that way. Yen is correcting. I think more upside. I want yen to test this top first. If they're going to go down, and yen could go down, they would have to break. I'd like them to break the tops first. You know, come back, break this top, and then go, right? Something like this, actually. Come back, break there, and then go, right? So we may look for one more down here after that trade. Can we get a good trade set up there? Let me see. No, you don't have any good setup in it. It's going to go, but there isn't a really good setup for a buy, either for a sell. But if they make a flag here, we'll get a sell. Right? So you have to give that some time. It's in a sideways move. No need to worry. Euro Oz broke out. I think, remember, we were telling you guys about this. Pay attention to this. So what is the next big trade in this? Let me just pull this off. We broke this structure, but we're still in the biggest structure, right? You can see that. We've got a move down, a correction, a move down, a correction, a move down. We can look for a correction back to this top. One more move down, or total breakout. Right? Those are the two options of the trade, right? They're totally going to break out. And what are the chances for them to break out? Based on this structure, they have a 90% chance they could break out, right? There is still a 10% chance that this makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and make this one part of its own, right? That's a complex way to understand structure. I'm not going to go into the details of that here, but that's how we see it, right? There's a different way we look at structure for most people. Upside, remember I was saying this is going to go up? Well, it went up. It broke out, literally broke out. I remember when this was going down, my traders were saying, what to do? I said, nope, this is just a sideways move to go back up, right? So we looked at it that way. We are making corrections here. This is not the start of a downside. This is just making corrections, just like this wasn't the start of a downside. So if they come and they give you a flag here, look for one more down, and then look for that trade up. Right? What if they make a deeper pullback here and then go? Okay, so what you're looking for now is a sell setup. So if they make a deeper pullback, if you get a sell setup here and they come here, good for you. You can still get the trade to the upside. You get a better trade here, right? I don't think that is what's going to happen, but I think it's going to be a very small correction and upside. So this morning, no buy. Remember that I told my traders no buy. Actually, wait for a flag here. Take this trade down. Short trade, take your profit, move your stop, watch to see if this goes up. If it only comes here and come back down, sell it again. You will see this pattern as a flag. Sell it again, look for the trade up, right? So right now, the only thing you can look for is a short-term sell setup. That is for trade tomorrow, probably, not today. Today is gone. So you're looking for a short-term sell setup, something like this. Very short-term trade. And then look for one up, one more down. The bigger trade will be to the upside, but if we're lucky, this may come a little deep, right? The first wave could be a little sharper and then go back and then come for the next one. The bigger trade, the bigger sense of direction is to the upside, but you are not going to get a buy right now. Maybe by the end of this week. The buy for the longer trade to the upside will probably be at the end of this week. Good. Euro, New Zealand. This one you don't want to miss when that buy setup comes, right? Because I don't think this structure has more to the downside. It's probably ended. As far as this structure looks, it does not confirm anymore. We're not seeing any more trade that says probably downside. This one looks like it's totally over. You remember this here, and I was showing my traders this trade here. We saw this trade here on the 4 hour. If I can bring it up, I'm not sure if I can bring it up on this time frame, but on the 4 hour, we saw this breakout here. And guess what? We closed it here. We got another trade here, and we closed that one there. And we missed most of this. We got a small trade in there. We missed most of that. If only we knew that this had the potential to move that much, we probably would have tried to keep this trade, right? I think if you go back in my charts way back, I don't know what time was this. This is 2015. You will probably see a trade on this on the 4 hour. Let me see if it can allow me to go there to the 4 hour or it should be a 4 hour for a buy setup, a call for a buy setup there. Yep, somewhere in here you will see a call for a buy setup. Let's see, it's probably in the 60 minutes, right? This is the breakout of this here, right? I think it's in the 60 minutes. You'll probably see it. Oh, the daily. Let me see in the daily. That's out of curiosity. Let me see if it's on the daily. No, it's not in the daily. So it's probably in the 60 minutes. If you go back in my charts, you'll probably find that, right? So this time, we're not going to give up on it, right? This time when we're in, right? This time, no worry, you don't have to catch it in here. I'm in it, but you don't have to catch it. If you're not in it there, don't worry, right? You'll catch it on this one. Wait for this to make a pullback here. They will make a pullback, and don't miss this trade, right? You can put that there, right? You can put an entry order if you think you're going to be late. So wait for the trade. No, I can see what I post. I just don't know what time frame I posted that, and Andy. You can go and check my charts. By the way, you're supposed to see it in the group, right? Am I correct? So watch for this here. Wait for that, and then look for this. Don't miss the trade. Well, after the webinar, you can go back and look for those. So there is going to be a correction, and I think this may be the start of the move to the upside, a very big move we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for this move for a while now, right? So if it is the start, you don't want to miss it. Let me show you the potentials of how far this thing could go. And it's going to give you corrections. You know, you're going to get a lot of 60 minutes corrections and 4 hour corrections. Not like you're not going to get, but the potential is it could move fast and it could get all the way to this distance. Yes, it will be in YouTube. So keep your eyes on that. You can see the similarities of those structure, and you can see when they break, they go. So let's hope this one is the one going, right? Let's hope this one is the one going. Wait for a correction and then get in the trade. EuroCAD daily. The EuroCAD also in the weekly. Remember I showed you guys all the CAD trades potential upside. Well, we were thinking this one would tag this low here first. I was thinking they would tag the low here and then go, right? But they haven't tagged the trend line, and that's not a must, just a line. It doesn't mean anything very much. But you can see the divergence here. You can see they're turning. They're actually crossing over here. So probably wait for a flag here and then buy. Take this one at a time until you break the structure, right? This one you wait until they get here. When they break, they'll correct and then go. So this is going to be every trade you take off until you are out of that big structure. This one will not move fast. Euro yen. Remember, I still said this is a corrective structure to go up? Well, yes, it is a corrective structure to go up. As long as you understand structure, you know what they're doing. It is a corrective structure to go up. We broke out, and we are heading for this target. I think we could get all the way to about this level, somewhere at 127, right? So we're heading towards that 127. I hope most of you are in the trade. You should be in this trade, right? I've been showing this almost every week. Well, if you're not, you still have a chance to get in. Maybe this correction is going to be a little bigger, right? Be careful. This correction may come back here and come down back and then go, right? If you're in complex correction, don't let it scare you. Just put the break even. They take you out. When it comes to the top here, if you put the break even and they take you out, you get in back at the trade right here. Right? Somebody brought up that. Okay, Bulent, thank you. Bulent is one of my trader, and he just went and got it for you guys to show you that trade, right? 2 years ago. You see? Expecting that breakout to go. Darn if I knew it was going to go that far, right? I would still be in that. I would have made a ton of money there, right? Can you imagine how much we missed? And that wasn't the end. I think it still went much more, right? It went more. Come on, there was a sharp spike at the top somewhere. If it goes, I remember that, right? There was that wasn't the end. There was still a sharp spike at the top. This was the end. In 1 year, when this was happening, I was trading a very, very small. I was mostly practicing my whole skills then in that time when I was trading this. But in 8 months, I did double an account. So it's possible. If I'm telling you about this trade, if only I knew to keep that trade, that would have been amazing, right? So this time, what we do, we're keeping it. This time, we're keeping it, guys. This time, when we get in these trades, you keep them, right? The ability to keep trade comes with time and experience. So watch this trade here. I'm in this trade and I'm keeping it, right? I lived through this pullback, I lived through this pullback, I lived through this, and I probably lived through a couple more pullbacks, right? No problem. 4 hour, it's looking good. The only time I expect a very deep pullback is probably when they get around the stop here. They'll probably make a deep pullback. They'll make a deep pullback and then go. This is where I'll consider whether I want to keep the trade, exit, and re-enter. Most likely, I'll keep it. So let's see. This is just a correction to go. You can get in the trade. This correction could be a bigger one, so be careful. But if they break, you take the trade, right? If they break and they decide to make a deeper correction, you get out for break even and you get in back the trade at the lower point. And that happens with a number of trades. I've shown you guys a number of trades like that already. Euro Chief, we were expecting them to break this low and then turn. A wick did come very close to that low, but whether it's broken or not is a good question. As according to the wick, we didn't break it. It's just a couple pips missing, but it's the daily chart. So, you know, I'm not sure whether the previous wick was not the broker's wick as well. But you're getting some correction here. And if we get a good correction in here, we will buy. Which means all Euro pairs, right? All Euro pairs are looking upside. We said that last week, and I'm telling you the same thing this week. All Euro pairs are looking upside. By the way, the pound, for those of you I showed, the pound is already making an attempt to go, but it's a little too early, right? So all Euro pairs, including this one, is going up. Now this one has a pound inside, and if pound goes up, this one will come down. You got to be careful. This is the only one you got to be careful of because of the pound factor inside, right? So this one you trade small, very little, see if they come back here and then go, or if they go from here. But I'm staying out of this one because of the pound, right? And I'm not sure what the pound is doing right now. So if you get a flag, take the trade, take your profit, basically. Pound Oz, I think you can look for an up trade. That was a short down trade, 4 hour. I think you can look for this trade if they break this structure to come back to this level. So you may want to look for that trade. If you consider Aussies going down and pound could go up, this trade would be amazing, right? We know Aussies on the downside, very likely it's correcting to go down more. And pound is likely going to go sideways or upside, right? Either of that could create this move to the upside. So you want to watch this trade. It's very possible that you could get 1, 2, 3 all the way to the top there, right? So 1 hour, we're getting a nice 1, 2, 3 correction. Watch for the breakout. Watch for this breakout and take the trade. This should be an amazing trade, by the way. I'll post some of these trades out when I finish. I'll post the snapshots in TradingView for those who are not in the webinar. If you like them, you can like it. Basically, I know I get a lot of likes and support from you guys. But this one is amazing. Keep an eye on it because if this breaks, it's going to go pretty fast, right? It's not a wave count, by the way. Please, please. Thank you for raising them. I'm not counting waves. I'm just showing you 1, 2, 3. I'm not labeling. That's not labeling, right? It's not 1, 2, 3 labeling. It's just the amount of waves I'm counting in there. 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave. Okay, thank you for making that. It could be ABC, it could be WXY. It depends how you look at structure, right? So that's not a wave count. That's a quantity, right? Please. Okay, let's go. Pang New Zealand. Thank you for making that, because a lot of those guys would come in. Pang New Zealand, as you can see, the bigger structure is telling us downside possibility. See that? This could go up some more. I'm not interfering with it. It could go up some more, but I'm not trading it because of this potential downside move, right? On the lower time frame, you do have the move to the upside. You remember last week I was showing this one. Potentially, this was a move to the upside. This could go some more. I just don't like the trade setup because of the bigger potential for downside. So I'm going to stay out of the Pound New Zealand, trade anything else but the Pound New Zealand. Euro New Zealand is a good one to trade. Pound CAD, still a corrective structure, and this is how it gets complex. Remember, we were looking for this breakout here. It did break out here, didn't get a trade. It got a trade in here, didn't go anywhere. Well, it's just getting a little more complex. This is what you call complex structures. So if you're looking at this, you can get this trade, and this trade is looking very possible here, and then probably break to the downside. At least this trade is a very potentially a good trade to happen today. If it goes up, you don't buy in this structure. You'll have to wait for another structure to buy. You cannot buy in a structure like this unless you're scalping for 10 pips, right? Or 12 pips. You're looking for this one and then potentially downside. Remember, this has a CAD in it, right? So although we think Pong looks upside, this has a CAD in it, right? So Pong Chief, if you guys keep your chat to the end, I'll answer your question, right? So daily, Punk Chief potentially has a move to the downside to break this low, right? I showed that in the weekly and the monthly, I think a couple months ago, if not a year ago. Probably in the weekly, there was a structure here posted to say, maybe the monthly, let me see. It's when it was in here still, so can't find it. Probably in the weekly. It's somewhere in there that's posted that you're watching for them to come break this low, right? Basically. So if we think they're going to come break this low, the question is this the one coming, or do they go back up here first and then come, right? But it's coming to the low. So if you go into that structure in the 4-hour, you're going to see that potentially this move here, this whole sideways move, looks more upside, right? So possibly if you can trade this, you're looking for a trade from here to the upside. Let's see in the 1-hour. Yeah, it does look like if it breaks, if they break the structure, you could look for a buy setup, right? If they break here, you can look for a buy setup. There is a buy setup in the way, probably. Not the best trade setup, but there is one. Pang Yen. Pang Yen will go down some more. There's definitely some more downside in the Pang Yen. I think we'll probably see them come to this level. But you're looking for the upside. You're looking for this trade. 1, 2, 3. So there's a big move to the upside on the Pang Yen. Keep your eyes on that one. First, the downside, it's not over. This is going to come down some more. They'll probably tag this low before they go. So if you want to buy it, probably wait for them to break that structure, right? CAD Yen, same thing, an upside potential. You're looking, all yen trades are showing this upside here, right? CAD Yen did break the low here. I think I showed you the CAD Yen in the daily last week. Let me show you that trade again. You have an impulse. You had an impulse. You're getting a correction here, and you're looking for another impulse, right? What are all those lines doing there? And why do I have them in the webinar? Okay, 4-hour. Let's go. So what you're looking for is this trade here, right? We got a breakout here. We're getting a pullback. You can look for that trade to the top, and they would likely break out of this top to that level. So this is a big trade coming at the end, right? CAD Yen has a big trade. If CAD goes down, this trade will happen. So potentially you want to not miss this trade as well, right? Very good trade setup. If it crawls down, I'm not interested. because it's a big corrective structure and it's at the bottom. So I'm not interested for a trade that is at the bottom and it's going down a little more. I'm interested in the potential trade to the upside. If it goes to the downside, I will not trade it, right? Because it doesn't show me, as this structure is, that there's a lot of more move to the downside unless I see a change in the structure, right? So you're looking for this trade to the upside. Aussie yen, stay out of this one, right? You can see why, because it's crawling up like this, and they could go back up or they could come down. Depends on which side moves first, the Aussie or the yen, right? They could move here, but eventually they're going to go up. So it depends which one is going to happen. I think you wait. My personal view is that this would make a flag here, and you're looking for downside, and then the upside, making a 1, 2, 3 wave structure. That's personal view, but it's not the best setup for those who are new and you don't have a great setup there for a trade. New Zealand yen, we're looking for upside. We completed, remember last week I was telling you they'll come break this low. They completed that. We can look for upside. If you look at it on a daily, you'll see what I'm saying. Daily, we completed when you made this 1, 2, 3, they went up. We made 1, 2, 3. We're looking for this one more up, right? So look for this trade up potentially. That's the daily structure. How do you get in the trade? Wait. There isn't a buy setup in it, so wait. More downside possible. The downside is short-lived. Any downside now is short-lived. It could go all the way to the 50, but it's short-lived. You're looking for the trade to start go up, right? Swiss yen, stay out of this one. Stay out of this Swiss yen. It's going up, but morely sideways. New Zealand CAD, you're looking for downside. All CAD trades, we're looking for possible downside after a consolidation. They're consolidating here, so we're going to show it. Aussie CAD, look at this. It's going up right now, but I think eventually you're looking for this to come here and then break. Because you have a lot of divergence here, you can actually see that. So it's probably going to come down back. You're looking for more downside. If you keep your questions to the end, yep, Aussie CAD will get a good drop. If you're looking at the bigger structure and you understand anything about structure, there's a move back to the bottom here, very likely. Even if they go all the way to the top, they're coming back down. Because this structure is definitely coming back down. So if you understand anything about structure, the best thing you want to do is wait for the downside, not buying to the upside, right? If everybody keep your questions, we're going to answer them at the end. Aussie, New Zealand. Upside, I hope you're in the buys, right? It's crawling up very slow. So if you get any pullback, you could take the trade, right? It's not going very aggressive, but if you get any pullback in it, you could take the trade. They're about to get to that top, and very likely they could break out. We'll keep track of whether it's going to break out or not, but we are expecting them to break out. XAG, remember, you're looking for a sell setup from the top there. Don't buy to the top there. Actually drop. I think they can go back one more up, so you're probably looking for buy setups here now. You're starting to look for buy setups here now to go, right? So keep looking for those buy setups. Gold, definitely a buy setup. You're getting a flag, actually it's breaking, so you can wait for this trade. It's a valid trade, valid buy setup to the upside. It's short term. I don't think this is the start of the big move to the upside. Definitely don't think so. This may be a leading diagonal. We'll probably get more consolidation in the side here. So it's probably going to go back up here. You're going to get another move down and then look for the upside. So it's a good buy, short term, nice trade if you trade gold, right? Short term, nice trade. Oil coming down. I think we're going to get some more downside. They're consolidating here, and you will get this trade here, right? They didn't break the top, and we were anticipating the move back to the low. UK oil, same thing. We were expecting more downside. They're going slowly. They're very slow. It's more of a big consolidation. So they may go back up here somewhere, you know, come back here, something like this eventually. It's going to be a very slow move if you're trading to the downside. Probably wait for, if they're going to make another impulse to the upside, that would be a very good trade, right? So it's coming down slowly, very slow. Every time they come, they push back, push back, push back, but you're getting a down move. You're getting this structure coming down slowly. We want them to break this low and then take off to the upside, right? So if they come back here, you get one more trade down and then probably the upside. Natural gas, pulling up, but it's a consolidation, right? So I don't think they broke this structure. So I think this may be just a bigger correction and we get some more downside. Possible, right? It's not the start of the upside as yet. Let's go. What else you guys are interested in? S&P 500. I said we would do this. So let's start this in the weekly and show you guys. The weekly is completing this 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in that 5-wave structure, we have 1, 2. So there's a likelihood they could come back here and then go. But this is going to have a very, very big, not necessarily, but likely. And this is going to have a big downside in it, right? Watch those targets at the top there. Somewhere in then, you can see the divergence here. Somewhere in there, you can start to see this move going down. Put it in a 4-hour. You can start to see this going down. So watch this trade. Somewhere in there, you can start to see this going down, right? If you start to get a sideways move here, sell it. Whether this would be the big move to the downside, we don't know as yet, but you sell it because even if it comes back to the trend and go one more up, you're still going to have a very good one. At some point in this area here, you may get a very big fall, right? I think one more impulse up, a correction with one more impulse up, and that will be the end of a 5-wave structure. So not necessarily it needs a 5-wave structure, but that could be the end of it. Let's do D30. Everybody's asking for this. Look for deeper correction as well here. You can see the stop is fading out there. This is the very top of it. Let me put that in a daily. That is the very top of it, see? And as they're coming to the top, it's dying out. Even if they push to that top, look for this trade down and probably more down. But if they come here without breaking the top, there's a corrective structure in the making here. You get one more impulse and then the downside. Right? So this is also completing a 5-wave structure, I think, if I can remember. This is kind of completing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave structure there as well. So keep an eye on it. I don't think they're making a bigger corrective structure in here, like a 1, 2, 3. But if they're doing, look for a sell setup. Look for a sell from here. Right? The sell setup is very close. Singaporean, some people want the Singaporean dollar. Look for some more downside. I think they're going to come back. They're consolidating and they're coming more to the downside. You can get a very nice sell setup there, by the way. If you sell Singaporean, that's a nice sell setup. You watch it to break this low here, go back up. Nice short-term trade, by the way. Nifty, let's see Nifty. Nifty is up, up, up. Nifty is going up. That is the top Nifty need to break. And it looks like they're going to do that. Right now, they're coming to break that top. Watch it. How far high they go above the top, I have no idea. But they will break that top. Remember, we're looking for that trade for a while, right? Let them come break the top. So there is a trade there. What else? Copper. Good, let's go. Daily. Copper is coming down. It finally broke and it's coming down now. Nice trade, by the way. I missed this one. We were looking at it, and I just saw this anyway. So copper is coming down. Look for more downside. Look for more downside here. You got it? Great. So watch. It could come all the way to about this level. So there's still possible trades in that one. Still possible trades there. Pound USD upside. We're looking for more upside on the Pound USD. If we go and look at all of those, we will not finish. Natural gas is going up. Wait for that. NASDAQ, let's go look at the NASDAQ for you. What is the symbol? NA. That is the exact symbol we use. NASDAQ composite. Let's go see what it is. This one. Let's look at this on the monthly. Never seen this before. Let's see. Okay, this is pretty much like the S&P 500. So I guess you'll be coming to an end very soon. You want to look at this on the 4 hour at the bottom here if it allows you to look at the 4 hour. Yep. Once they keep moving that fast, they'll probably make a correction very soon. So you probably look for a sell setup very soon. Yep. Very big move to the downside. XAU, XAG, let's see this one. Oh, not this one. You're looking at this. Which one is this? By the way, this is a nice one too. The euro, they make this the euro silver, right? If they make this flag, you see one more trade down there. Let's see what is the one you're looking for. XAU, XAG. What did I do with that one? Oh, I probably removed it. Right, I had too many on. We can look at that next week. Euro USD short. I don't see a short on the Euro USD as yet. If you're in the short, you're a little too early. US oil, we showed that already. Downside, we're still looking for more downside in the US oil. Do you think you will decrease your cost price? Not as yet. No need to do that. We have a troll in here, trolling. Here's the deal. You don't like, just leave. Grow two balls and leave. I don't think you have them. You don't like what I do, don't come. Don't waste your time and my time. I think that's a fair comment, right? Isn't that? One guy trying to troll. It could even be one of the people I kicked out of my group, because I kicked a few out of my group for behavioral patterns. Their behavior was not so good. It's easy, right? You come here because you think what I'm giving you has some value. If you need to know more, then get more for yourself. That's the whole point. Right? Just grow two balls. You can grow them. If you don't have, go get some artificial one somewhere. just behave yourself. That's the point. You don't like what I do, just leave. That's the whole point. You don't have to come here. I don't remember anybody put a gun to your head and say, come to this webinar. Yeah, they come. They like my charts. They come, but they still troll, right? They like the forecast, everything, but they still troll. Right? It's funny how they do, right? Just crazy set of people. You have a few like that. I guess they don't have a life. I used to tell them, go get a girlfriend. A link to the course, no. But if you want to know anything about the course, just add me to Skype and I'll send you the details. Tell the troll this is not for him. Don't Skype me, I'll block you if you're a troll, right? If you only want to know about the details of the course, there is a course coming up in April. It's already, I'm not taking in people as yet, and more than half people already showing, more than half of the course is already people who are waiting to sign up, right? More than half filled, put it that way, people waiting to sign up. I'll be sending out those info in the next 2 weeks. So if you're one of those people, don't worry. If you've asked me before and I haven't given you the details yet, you'll get it in the next 2 weeks. Send me a reminder. If you send me a reminder and I tell you already next week, don't worry. It's not for him. I think he knows. So, okay, guys. Thank you very much for taking the time. There are some potentially nice short trades you can get today or tomorrow. Watch those. And these long-term trades allow them to consolidate and get in the trades. Right? Everybody take care. I would see you. And good trading for this week. I think this week could be very, very good. All right. See all of you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.